Yeah, MVP.
MVP. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, we should be able to tune into our casters for our very first TI6 matchup. We have Toby Wan and Merlini. Gentlemen, can you hear me loud and clear?
We definitely can, Dakota. We are so ready to go. OG up against MVP. What a terrific series to also kick off the International 2016.
I'm glad that MVP is going back to the basics. They have their 5 melee brawlers. They were 4-0 with PA in the group stage. Let's continue that streak.
Yeah, I want to see it. MVP, we've seen them on the main stage before. Sometimes they turn away from the team fights. This time they've embraced the spirit that is MVP. And they'll do it up against OG. OG panel was saying it, both the fun and the draft panel, they were all looking to say OG, they're the favorites coming into this series, but MVP, draft panel kind of lent towards them. They're stuck with the brawlers. Have they got enough to bring down OG at least 1, maybe 2 games in this best of 3?
I think with this draft, yes. In the group stage, they picked a lot of non-QO heroes. I think he's kind of like the embodiment of aggression with the heroes that he plays, Slark, PA, PL, just heroes that can be in your face all the time. And then they picked them some Timbersaw here and there, which didn't quite seem up his alley. They picked them a Tinker, which they lost, and we saw the Alchemist man out from OG, which he also played a couple times during the group stage, but I think the PA is really his hero.
Yeah, it's just that kind of burst and also momentum shifting hero that MVP can bring into the fights. What do you think about the overall draft? There's very few teams that come out and run a full 5 melee lineup.
Yeah, it's very risky, especially when you have all this AoE from the Earth Spirit and the Bat Rider. Like, Napalm's going to be a huge issue, not to mention the last pick, Timbersaw. I think this is kind of an ideal Timbersaw game. Maybe not as many strength.
The contest for the top rune, the Iron Shell's already up. MVP's going to go in. Tubu, heavy damage early on, but the double Iron Shell putting down Fly. The first one from the SP, the 1-for-1 trade-off. But really, MVP, have you bitten off more than you can do? Then he has to make a run for this. As a bounty hunter, he can't go in for another 5 seconds. But he'll fail out. The runes will end up going the way. In fact, both bounty runes went the way of MVP into the hands of Faceless Void as well as the PA. Debbie, Orb of Venom just harassing Crypt back out again. He's going to control up this jungle nicely.
They're very reliant on the Ion Shield this game, and OG drafted potentially 2 ways to get rid of the Ion Shield with the Demonic Purge and a Diffusal Blade Carrier in the Juggernaut. And you can tell OG, they're prepared. All these early game clarities, they're grouping up around the room, just expecting this level of fighting. We already see a charge on bottom from Dubu. See if he gets as lucky with the bashes.
It seems to be more of a zone out kind of thing. Moon is going to have a real good time up against MP. As we said, melee versus Sticky Napalm is always going to favor the Bat Rider, which should be checking middle lane as the Sentry Ward down for Crit. They're going to see Bevy boulder forward. QO will take it for the Bounty Hunter, and they're both going to move back out again. This time around, they don't have that Iron Shell damage they had around the top rune fight, so they have to give space to OG.
These 2 heroes are still level 1. They're still trying to kill people. Gonna be a problem once Reactive Armor gets up on Miracle too. Let's see if he picks up level 2 at level 3, but if that happens, I'm not exactly sure where Febby's gonna go.
You made this a survive lane? Well, Febby will get rid of the Sentry Ward, so he's freer to move in the mid lane. No extra Sentry over on Crit. In fact, it's Fly who's holding on to the other 2 Sentries at the moment. So they still have to keep tabs on where this Bounty Hunter is moving, and the Bounty, one of those rare times as well, we doesn't have a jungler he can just leech experience off. Not until they can make Moon abandon the bottom lane and start stacking up inside the jungle for him.
I don't know if he's going to leave. I don't think he needs to. As the draft panel mentioned, like, they don't have a good zoning support at all. Spirit Breaker's okay, but he has no easy way to get rid of the Sticky Napalm.
Top rune, Iron Shell's going to press up. Lost the bit. It's going to be a bounce rune only. No big damage from a Crit. Didn't actually boulder out. The SB's on his way in. It's a long charge back underneath the Tier 1 tower, but it's already done. The Darkseer finds the extra kill, and Duper will run away, so 2-2 on the ball.
And OG have invested some many sentries, but maybe not enough. MVP are winning the ward battle in the mid lane at the moment, and Dupu's there for the charge just in case.
Conservation.
Tasty can help out, make sure those fiddles get secured, also keeps the vision up. He's going to charge back down to bottom lane, so MP doesn't really have a lot to play around with. Like, he's a stick charge, no points up in time lock, instead it's time dilation he's trying to play up against Moon with. So Moon will turn for the Sticky Napalm. MP with the extra bat is still not going to be enough to kill off Moon. Yeah. Very safe down there with his troops. High movement speed to get away.
I'm surprised they didn't go for the double bash lane. Double that thing up. MP
That's just more survival. Top lane, nice focus from Fly. Catches Darkseer, mid-surge for Rev. He will be dropping now twice. He's gonna do enough damage to Fly to get a kill. The double iron shells were there, and Febby looking to soak up a little bit more with the extra attack on the Fly. He can't kill him, he can only harass him. But that's the last consumable down for the SD.
And they are very light on protection in this top lane. Shadow Demon, one of the better supports to deal with that Darkseer. Rev might have a troublesome time if he's not in the jungle.
Because he had to give the extra sentry wards over to Crit. Crit brought another one of those sentries to the mid lane and held on to the other one.
And they need to make sure that QO isn't out of control. He's the main person that you always want to shut down on MVP.
My eyes up on this top lane. The iron shells are always up, so Notel's got to be careful. Setting when the bounty hunter will move, but it's the 4-minute mark, so again the contest for the top room will begin. Febby will try and steal the one from Miracle, keep that bottle as possible, but Crit makes a bit more of a cover. They reveal him with a dart that Febby's going to drop. A little bit too predictable, the battle for the rune. Timber actually got a regen as well.
They knew exactly where he was going to be.
What you really get in return, you fill up QO's bottle, it gets a bounty rune.
Okay, you just need like one of these movements by the bounty to pay off in the later game. When you get some track kills, Crit smoke around behind him in the mid tower.
Yeah, they're preparing Observer Ward behind the tier 1 so they can see QO and understand how many reinforcements he's got. Miracle also feels like with this aggressive maneuver, just preparing QO for the Earth Spirit roll-in.
This is a maneuver that OG does a lot. They smoke with Crit to lay aggressive wards. If there's an Alchemist, it'll normally be towards the southern side, but they're actually placing it in a different part of the map this time to see if reinforcements are coming behind QO so they can kill Miracle.
Fly's going to arrive. There's no Observer Ward to scout out this movement. The early ob's actually down for OG aggressively. It's about to time out. In fact, it just does do so back behind the tier 1 tower on the top lane. So it's really kind of blind. They've prepped a new one which is a little bit deeper inside the jungle. But they still don't know where OG supports are moving, and that's very dangerous with Crit's Earth Spirit.
Bottom lane looks to be in a little bit of trouble. OG making a move down there without a smoke at the moment, probably just a warding mission.
With the ward, they do see the faces forward. Before he's level 6, it was a small opportunity to maybe gank up MP. But with their lineup, painting off stuns, Disruption doesn't really work the way they would like it to.
Yeah, they don't have Flame Break on the Batrider, so it's not going to be terribly easy.
They're taking out. They want Zubu instead. Be careful of the timing. Disruption and kick. Not the right synergy coming up from Crit Fly. This will allow Zubu to charge away. So a miskill there, but also up on the top lane. It was the Darkseer and the Bounty Hunter teaming up together to kill off the Juggernaut.
It looks like he was out of man on the top lane. Maybe he popped his mango and still perish in the meantime.
QO's now going to try and battle Miracle for the room. Actually, Phantom Strike is forward. Gets the bounty room from Miracle. Critical thing when it keeps the bottle charges low, but Miracle tries to man-fight it. There's bottle charges available for QO. He'll trigger one of them now. Back to his tier 1 tower.
I like the other times that they drafted PA in the group stage. It was against a lot more physical damage, like life stealers, for example. This game, the Slur isn't terribly useful, and I think Timbersaw is going to continue to prove to be very useful against her. He's doing very well in terms of CS.
He's bailing out. He doesn't want anything to do with his tier 1 tower. And rightly so, Crit's still hovering around. As Moon farms up the Radiant jungle, Miracle a little bit further over on the Radiant side.
He's maxed out Chain. Or he's maxing out.
Top lane, Notel might be in trouble here. It's a double Iron Shell maneuver, but they've already used their charge. So Notel can spin back underneath his tier 1 tower in safety.
I also like how OG snagged at the Jug immediately in the second phase. He's like one of the few safe laners that can actually deal with this charge.
Oh, they're going to trigger the dust. Every sentry being planted, but overcomes QO! Big damage on the fly. Has self-destruct, but that damage to Miracle with the Chronosphere just on the end. They need to bring down one, but who are they going to get? QO's low, so is Fly. Will be the first to fall. Febby is the return damage. They need Miracle as well. Miracle's over one card is left with a tip, and yay! The damage is huge! You need a time look, and there it is. But there's still a follow. Some Pelosi bringing the reinforcements. It's Moon joining the fight. The Shark is there. No time walk for 3 seconds, and 3 seconds is too long. Miracle will get a double kill. 4 kills in total now for OG.
Man, he just seemed like the best laner to deal with this sort of thing. And he had Arcane Rune going that whole time. If they don't kill him very soon, he has Timber Chain up in 3 seconds. 0.8 to be exact.
So quick, so damaging. Same 4 kills for Miracle himself. It's the perfect time. For Timbersaw to hit that mid-game streak.
No rest for the wicked. They see Spirit Breaker charging, but there's already an Observer Ward behind these towers, so these Obs Wards are prepped for these Spirit Breaker rotations, and OG, they are not getting caught off guard by MVP's game plan at all.
They definitely are not. The first Chrono was well going to work and not really having to decide.
But you have 5 melee heroes.
Yeah, you can't really do much with it. Like, even with PA, like maybe with a Juggernaut you could jump in an Omni Slash. PA, you almost have to rely that you still have someone on the edge of the Chronosphere.
Maybe later they can get a Battle Fury and they can throw some daggers and have some crit wonders inside the Chrono, but aside from that, it's not that much damage actually growing into the Chronosphere aside from Ion Shell.
Moon. Chrono is still on cooldown with only 1 point up in time lock. Faceless Void really isn't that menacing.
Smoke from OG, flying crit around the mid lane.
Maybe it's also a good time to ask that question about the Faceless Void. The draft panel was asking about it too. Do you try and build damage on this Faceless Void? You're not just a big controller. Sentry Ward to drop. There's no escape from this. Perfect stun. And the Bounty Hunter will fall. And it at least allows MP to back up before he gets killed.
Yeah, regarding the Faceless Void, the level 1 time dilation is pretty good versus Bat Ryan in terms of item builds. He doesn't really have that much to play around with. Going for the Vlads. In case they do win the team fight, they can get Roche and 5
SB charging in on Miracle. QO actually does a lot of Miracle's abilities with the charge in. They need the extra badges. MP will arrive through time dilation, causing real issues for Miracle. The extra damage from the wall. Reactive armor is a lot of life, but not enough. A level 3 Shuriken toss from Febby ends Timbersaw's killing spree.
Wow, what a perfect backing from Forev. He almost got out with the Timber Chain, but Timbersaw only had 1 chance because of that time dilation.
Well, finally MVP can stop the Timbersaw rampage, you could almost say. There's still other ticking time bombs. Again, Moon has gone for this. He prefers this to win the entire group stage. No early Blink Dagger. Rom just completed 10 minutes into the game. Notal still a while off completing his next big item. And for Ring of Aquila as well as his face suits.
I wonder if he's considering getting a Vanguard this game. I think we see that sometimes on Juggernaut, maybe when there's not this much fighting, but this game would be really good for him. But maybe in deciding between the phase Yasha, he walks under a ward.
He does.
Look at all these sentries.
So is Crit. See, just for the 2 sentries there from the last fight. Crit's backing up. He knows he doesn't have detection on the side. He's also not level 6 yet. Even with the extra tome that got blown out, he's still shy.
Dubu's level 6 now, so they have more opportunities around the map.
MVP still waiting for other critical timing and items. Darkseer does not have that mech up and available.
Looks like Miracle is actually going for a Hood first. It's not a build we see too often on Timbers at all. Most of the time it's a Bloodstone, but perhaps getting in this game to deal with pretty much just the Ion Shell, I'd say.
Also, the team's preparing for a harder fight. The Vlad's field over on the Void. QO able to Phantom Strike away. Support's rotating down as Google will Forev. They're charging in now. Notal is the primary target. He's still got Omni Slash available, but the charge will connect. Dubu now bailing out as Miracle jumps up higher, looking for the kill on Dubu. Gonna find Forev there too. Remember, there is no mech yet up for MVP. Don't want to have a full-on team fight, but nicely to Moon. This may be an easier target, but SB, he couldn't get himself out of the Firefly. Miracle's still here. They got jump over on Febby. Slow him down. Miracle tries to rip him up. Time dilation to a double Chronosphere. Hold him there. QO can't really help out just yet. While the rest of OG back 3-man wall. Forev keeps them out. They need more damage. He can just kill off. At least they got a couple of OG to help them out. As Miracle still looks to clear. Notal starts to spin up. No mana for an Omni Slash, but it won't matter. They have enough AoE damage. Fly getting ripped apart by still the Darkseer illusion. Febby forced up north. There's a double kill and help a Miracle. Again, the bleeding starts. And Timbersaw's enjoying it. They go back through the wall. Dubu charge on forward. Hits all 3. Notal into the spin. Crit slow Dubu with the Nether Strike. He's able to pick up the Earth Spirit for Forev once more. Another Iron Shell. Another surge. QO, do you really want to break this close? Miracle's going to find himself a hate through on the top river. Dubu with the bat into a follow-up charge for the Omni Slash. Notal put the Spirit Breaker down. Febby's looking for more than Miracle. He's just too quick and too armored. Back up to the Tier 1 tower. We got what we were expecting from this game. Heavy battles from both sides.
Yeah, OG very calm and calculated. That was an excellently placed wall by Darkseid, which really turned the tide of the fight. OG, they really had no choice but to fight under it, and the illusions did a lot of damage afterwards. And one of the deficiencies of the lineup from MVP, they don't have any damage in the Chronosphere. There's not an Ion Shell on the Faceless Void at the moment. And they also had a lot of trouble dealing with the Healing Ward at the start of the fight. Who's actually going to get in there and kill the Healing Ward?
Yeah, unless it's Bounty Hunter at the very beginning.
Yeah, maybe Faceless Void can run around.
Every time, Baby's getting dusted up just like he is now in the bottom lane. Crit, there is a charge coming in from the Spirit Breaker. Febby needs to fight. In comes Zubu, can he create the space? No, the Magnetine's already finished the shot. Another back hitting him. A miracle with a Timber Chain. He goes through Dubu and Perez. There is going to be enough damage to get another revenge kill here. Miracle just keeps going and going. Perez will drop as well. Miracle racking up 8 out of the 15 kills of OG.
I like the player mentality coming up from Crit this game. I think his mindset is like, dying is a necessary evil for me this game. I need to die sometimes just because you need someone to absorb the damage so that you can build reactions to armor stacks on Timbersaw, so you can get the napalm stacks on Timbrider or Batrider. You need time to build up your damage on OG.
Prepping upwards again, Fly coming in behind the lines. Febby not visible just yet, they come under the tower. The destruction will start, Febby really want to go. There's 4 heroes from OG and QR still dropped so quickly. OG coming with the numbers, they have 5 players here. A full 5-man maneuver from OG, half an MVP to win a team fight. But OG is capable of hiding and getting kicked before MVP are in position.
That's okay, MVP knew that they were gonna lose a lot of heroes, so they grabbed the He's gonna win one of these fights.
Well, you just want to bring him back to the hole. You know, as long as we get track kills later on, we get a good chrono, maybe a couple of crits, you never know. A Darkseid, Vac Wall.
Why do you think they're at the 2 Bash heroes and a 50% evasion hero? Sometimes they'll roll in your favor.
The MVP RNG dream.
They're missing Ogre though.
And they are. No ding 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 on this one. And MVP, well, they're coming for a kill if they can find one. Perev has already prepped up the Iron Shells and they smoke into the Dire jungle. And Dire already scanning up. What a perfect scan as well. OG, they know exactly what MVP is up to. The Observer Ward goes into the lane. At least MVP now get to fight with vision.
I think even their Observer Ward's gonna get rewarded because of this. Like, it's a very common move. You smoke behind and there is the Lion knows exactly what's going on. So, yeah, the T1 tower's at full HP, but despite that, predicts MVP's next move and limits their angle of attack.
So MP has 1,400 gold over on this Faceless Void. He asked the question a couple of minutes ago. He's finished up the Vlads. They've got their team fight auras with both Mech and Vlad. You now have to start racking up some damage.
I guess the build would possibly be Diffusal, I would say, for damage. We'll see Yasha sometimes. I think, I don't know, it's a difficult game for the Faceless Void. Scepter's okay, but you're not really getting that many kills in a Chronosphere. Well, MVP, they scan under the Dire T1 tower and the scan hit, and I don't know if they're expecting the smoke right now, but MVP are up that hill.
OG are expecting it, but they have 3 Observer Wars. The early initiation, the shot keeping no tail back, so we actually have a split fight group win. The Dubu hold everyone else out, but now Timber Chain, a back 3-man wall! The Dark down in position, they still need more damage. Only the Earthbrew is died so far for MVP, and MP time walks away, back away from the wall. Not a lot of mana for OG to really work with here. Q1! He goes in through the back line, finds the Batrider, keeps the Sizzling Dagger out. He's trying to pick the good fight, but Miracle still huge amounts of damage. Febby has to play elusive, and he comes to her. Another crit, Fly will drop. He went for the aggressive disruption on 2-0 to try and buy some space. Now a Snowtail on the charge, back in again, and MVP! They're finding huge kills, especially with such a huge advantage going the way of OG. Every single one of these track kills means so much. Big goal, big swing.
That's a great team fight coming out from MVP. They get split up at the beginning of the fight. Crit tries to go in, but look at this vacuum into Chronosphere. They get him on the edge of the Chronosphere too, so the melee heroes can follow up after that, and that's exactly what they needed.
And they turn it straight to the tier 1 tower. Take a team fight, push a tower. Don't have Chronosphere available, your mech's still on cooldown. Not a lot of mana on the Darkseid, but once he's able to finish up Greaves, this might be a little bit better. But with a heavy team fight, maybe it's even better to go for a Blink Dagger. Have even better initiation for Perev, even though he doesn't seem to need it.
Well, they have the Blink Dagger on Void. They can just walk up with the Darkseid with Surge. I think MVP going to depth. What's better than 5 heroes running at you? We're gonna make illusions a few and have 5 more heroes. Those illusions stay alive for so long. OG actually don't really have the AoE to clear them out, or it hasn't seemed like it. I think Timbersaw should actually focus on killing the illusions very early on in their fight.
Or going for the hero kills. At least he'll have the man to do so, but he wants to have hero kills as the Bloodstone is almost near completion for Miracle. Fetty hovering around, he's going to run out, he's going to steal the hate stone. Means he's going to have the movement speed to get away as long as he's got the life, but he does not. Crit and Miracle teaming up perfectly.
The illusions don't really affect him that much necessarily, but you can see the effect of the supporters, like Shadow Demon in particular, saw a self-disruption on him earlier, and OG grouped around their mid T1. They protected their towers pretty well though. Let the top one fall, it's the least important one for Dire.
Also because they can see when MVP are coming every single time. Like that fight in the Radiant Jungle caught them. It wasn't even off guard like the Observer Wards. They had 3 of them prepared across the Radiant Jungle. So the second MVP made even a move for Dire side, for Roshan, or to that bottom lane. OG knew about it. And then there's an Observer Ward on top of the Radiant Ancients. That just watched 3 MVP players farming up. OG can then freely move into the Radiant Jungle and take that. They just see everything and can make the best decisions at hand with all the information.
And then you also need to see the Roshan coming in a couple of minutes. Phantom Assassin has a hammer, 2 hammers now, so going for the Dezo build that we see QO go for very often. That combined with the Vlad. All they need is one more team fight like that, and they take Roche. They'll take down the T1.
Miracle, very far out. He does not have a lot of friends around here. Really a lot of confidence in himself. But that Desolator flying into QO, down the red back, charge, time dilation, they really want it. Fly still too far away, the Dark Steel Wall will drop, Miracle's alive, Nubu a little bit deeper, Fly, not a healthy man, now the only flash on the MP and Nubu, but MP took the entire front of it. Until then, they move on to the Spirit Breaker. Bevy on the retreat, they slow down Miracle with a Cycling Dagger, the kick flies forward, gonna miss QO. They safe on the high ground, but then QO, the dust comes down from Moon, QO dragged back by the Lasso. He needs someone to jump to, but while he's silent, he doesn't have it. Bevy stays close up on the high ground. Miracle forward, Shaka's got cooldown. He tries to stop the Phantom Assassin. Bevy's still on the run with Miracle. He was looking for Karev. Bevy is away. OG just chaining kills after what was a very obvious bait of Miracle.
MVP knew that it was obvious though. They had the Spirit Breaker go on the Shadow Demon in the back line, and then you had the Faceless Void trying to run up the Chrono Spear anyone that was coming in from behind. Jug dropped the healing ward, but what they didn't know is that Crit was already prepared. He silenced the Void as he was coming in for the Chrono, and then he immediately died. And this is a Void with a Blink Dagger. You did not have that much time to react.
That as tribute.
It's the reason why Crit, the Earthshaker, continues to get picked for OG. Man is a god on that hero.
He certainly is.
OG. Ours MVP who are looking for an opening. They've only got Febby running on the front lines. Advantage for MVP as there was no Observer Wards in this area. Thinking about the movements of Febby, you might have expected OG to go in for Roshan.
As they have the Dezo on the PA, so a lucky Crit can easily blow up the Earth Spirit of Shadow Demon who don't have that much armor. Shadow Demon in particular who doesn't have Tranquils.
Is that what MVP should also be looking to do in every single fight? Like get QO into the back line of OG?
He has to be a little bit careful because if Fly makes illusions of the PA with a Soul Catcher and ult, then he might actually be in a little bit of trouble. So wait until Shadow Demon is like in a bad position. He can easily get caught out by the AoE. You don't need QO to eliminate the Shadow Demon. You just really need Darkseer and Faceless Void to get at least 2 heroes, I would say. It should be 3 with the vacuum though.
MVP uses scan, expecting maybe OG to flank around them. It's an invis rune for Miracle. They don't understand that Timbersaw is standing in the middle of their team. Now the Chakram, well off target, however. Miracle just chaining himself away to safety as MVP once again. They were grouping up for a full 5-man fight, and they just don't see the opportunity for initiation until now. 4-man smoke. They're looking for an opening. The charge will come first. Who does he find? It's going all the way up against the Juggernaut. While Chris go out of position, he doesn't get the double silence. And then Boulder himself away. The fight splits up. Darkseer Wall is keeping a lot of them away, and Crit is isolated from the rest of his team. Miracle will stand in front of the tower. And again, he's just playing that bait game. Nubu waiting for his next charge target. With no Earth Spirit down, there's no silence to dissuade the Faceless Void from going in.
MVP is trying to lure them back to their Observer Ward. They have Observer Ward in the river, and they don't necessarily want to fight deeper closer to T1 where OG actually had an Observer Ward. They need the Faceless Void to catch them by surprise.
They're running so low on mana without the Darkseer wall. Is this even still worth sticking around? That's the decision that MVP is faced with.
Maybe not when Earthspirit's back up. He just respawned, but they need to wait for OG to come to them. And OG don't have the greatest Roshan lineup, so MVP, they're safe to leave the pick.
OG actually slip it and do Roshan. There's a big creep wave up on top that MVP's got to go and take care of.
It's just Jug. Timbersaul's like okay at tanking, but it would just take far too long. And if OG's heroes are missing, they just fight the entire game. As soon as 5 heroes go missing on the map, you know that they're either going to smoke ink them, which MVP are okay with, because they're the ones that are actually looking to fight, or they're doing so.
That's little room for QO for the next fight, holding on to the Haste Rune as he's going to farm the top, brings him closer towards that BKB.
He doesn't really jump pick up on crit, so he got pretty rich off that last fight, but not choosing to go for the early Blink Dagger. And this could be a risky proposition. Heavy's already been dying a decent amount, but maybe looking to go for the long game and get their items up in case they don't want to invest thousands and thousands of gold on sentries.
Kind of one of those fun games as well for Crit. Normally this guy's got a very early Veil, but he has to spend the money on the gem. With a 0.511 KDA, you can understand why. So there's so much money over on Miracle, you can take it via the Observe Ward at the bottom river. All the money in the world rolling in, still holding on the 15 Bloodstone charges for the Timbersaw. But MVP, very nicely split, continues to farm until the next item progression.
They're not really getting too much money on the Spirit Breaker. Ideally, you'd Midas, I would say, on him at this point. Like, you'll have crack gold, and then you'll have Midas, and you're gonna die in most of these fights. He is the fluffiest tank that they have on the side of MVP.
Every time I watch Miracle move, there's 3 OG players, just a stone's throw behind him. And now OG actually leaving Miracle on the back lines. It's Moon to the front lines, they put a hit there, she puts the gem of truth right now over on him, and the jump on Crit, they're looking for a 3-man kick! Crit laying 300 space for Miracle to do something with the last two, they hold him there, he can't time walk away, he can't chrono, he makes a 1-for-1 straight off, Heavy also, no way out, QO will TP, barely in the nick of time. 2-for-1 trade-off, MVP should be counting their lucky stars to get away with only 2 deaths. But now OG to make a break for Roshan. The healing ward's available. This should be easy for him.
Try to recover the gem, and crit might be 0 and 6, but it doesn't really matter. He got a 3-man stun right there, and the more important part is they're putting Faceless in a really difficult position. Like, he doesn't want a Chrono with solo Earth Spirit. He doesn't want a Chrono Spirit, a Timbersaw who's out in front, but they don't have vision in the back.
They're coming to contest, and Miracle's gonna break the smoke. He was waiting for this smoke maneuver. And he's the man who's probably the tankiest of all of OG. They come in and just whoa! He's got 3 on the cliff! Doobie will stand up with the Darkseer back! Doobie will fly! And you'll get it! Now QO jumps up front, battle up against Zotel! The Sharks from Miracle trying to help out 4! It won't be enough! QO finds another! Now the Phantom strike down! Over towards Crit as well! QO! He's so low on life! He'll go down! OG! They were contested! Chris on a helping down SP! With the help of the bounty! They find that kill! Miracle, now, time lock in the river, Chrono is still available, time walk up, they could do it, Roshan only at 1/3 of his life, they have the Darkseer wall, the problem is, without the PA, they don't have the damage to kill off Roshan.
And Roshan is a death trap for OG. I guess that, and for MVP too. You don't really want to fight into the Batrider and the Timbersaw there, but I like the way that Timbersaw was out in the front, just making sure the MVP could not catch him by surprise. And he popped the smoke, but they still got this beautiful initiation.
That was absolutely wonderful. You can see them trying to help out. The Flamebreaker at least puts Dubu down, and that Spirit Breaker, he was picked for one solid reason, and that was to cause chaos with MVP. And with combination of the Darkseer, it worked perfectly.
And I remember just last TI, that same exact position, where CDEC used that on their way to victory.
I like to see it time and time again if we have more of that. The BKB is done, so the strength of MVP's team fight is going to get better.
Wow, he's got a lot of farm since his Desolator. I'm surprised, especially considering that he died that last fight. Pretty quick BKB to follow up.
While Miracle's progression's not really going that far apart from Bloodstone charges.
And more importantly, no tail.
I say that when he's still so far in front of the network. With Miracle now caught out in the tree line. The charge forward with a time lock. They need a hold, and they bring him down. Huge amount of money. They move on the tree. QO's already got 90 gold and no tail. Locked in. Triple to run away, but he gets fly as well. Triple kill for QO. Off he flashed it up. No tail will appear over there. still Phantom Strike, actually on cooldown, he missed the timing for a Miracle, being pumped down a little bit further by the Nick right back. Roshan does go the way of MVP with the Aegis Immortal into the hands of PA.
Miracle thinking that he's Superman. He didn't actually unload the door early enough that fight, and he just got bashed out.
This job, MVP as well, like not just settling for one. You think up against a team like OG, you might be so scared that you're gonna say like, let's just take one and be happy with that. MVP, the lead chrono, gets the second one. They can understand. It's just get as much as you can out of every single fight.
Did you see that crit? It took him down like, it took him down 70% of his HP.
That's the beauty of PA, MVP. Like they're the only team at TI so far that's had real success with it. And
now
there's the swing.
All it takes is a couple fights, Toby.
That it does. We still haven't even thought about like the effect that Bounty Hunter has had on this game. He continues to get a lot of tracks off during the fight, staying alive through a lot of it as well. And all this money just rolls in for MVP. Like we talked about BKB, only just being done by Kuro getting a lot of money. Now he's got a Basher coming out in the Courier too. So you're getting extra chances. We already had like the Bash Walls and SPM faces Void. Now you're going to add PA to the mix.
And on top of that, the Bounty Hunter, he like forces OG to make some crucial economic decisions too. Shadow Demon continuously has to invest in the Sentry Wars, and the Bat Rider's not playing as aggressively as normal because he doesn't want to lose the gem. So they can't play like they want to.
MVP are coming. Miracle is the only man for OG to protect the tier 3 tower. Quick time violation! The basket! The time lock! Miracle! He has to imitate himself away with Nubu! Charge forward! He's got the one more protect the Q again! Three-man wall! Fly as well! Bashed up! Critted up! Nubu will get the double kill! And now no buyback for both the SD as well as the Timber! This could be a top rising at the moment! The only chance for a counter is Norco on the bottom lane to push that tier 3, but he needs to come home. The Timber is up in 11 thanks to that Bloodstone. But MVP, they take down the melee rack, they'll take the range as well. MVP, they have just won 2 great fights, maybe 3.5 in a row, and then claim the first rack here on the main stage.
OG, it seemed like they made the necessary preparations to deal with MVP's aggression, but I think a couple of decisions in the mid-game like really proved to be their downfall. I think one in particular is the Battle Fury on Juggernaut. Like this is not a farming game. It might be good to get your farm up, but how often have they been split up? How often is MVP like not running at you as 5? There's like almost 50 kills at this point in the game, and a fighting build like PA could have also gone for Battle Fury, but she going for the fighting build. Ads on the Faces Void 2, BKBs coming out all around, and now Juggernaut's going to be very, very fragile.
And fragile Juggernaut is not what you want to have. They need to find OG the better initiations. That's what gave them the confidence in the first 10 minutes. They always had vision of MVP moving across the map. They were able to set themselves up properly. They read MVP's movements, the smokes, the scans, everything was on point. Right now, Dire Observer, they got 1 on the bottom lane, and that's all. They hardly see the movement of OG. Not that this movement is that hard to read. There's still 2 bottom towers available for MVP to take, and if OG want to fight this, they have to get it right. And the vision on the high ground, Fly will take care of that. Team 1 tower is already going to drop, and OG is preparing for defense.
It looks like they're going in soon. They had the defuse on Juggernaut. Pretty good versus the time dilation. Though I think it would have better if it came out earlier, because then Timbersaw wouldn't have to build a loader, so he could actually go for more armor, so he can deal with that tank, the PA.
At least he's got the casual plate. There's Zama QO picked up. We're found the initiation. Remember QO still has an Agency Mauler forever. He's trying to make it into space. He's waiting for it. Let the Agency Mauler trigger before he goes to the back wall combo. Miracle take half the life of QO. A quick, careful of the Lightning Dagger. We said he was fragile. One Lightning Dagger almost moves half of his life. Miracle, again the front line, and getting it back. Lightning Dagger, Chrono, they call no time the back line. They're looking for the kill. Chris is time from Nuber. 5 times in the Chrono. They're looking for the back support. The wall will split the fight up. Trio is just so big. He's ripping apart the back line of OG. Boom will join him. No time trying to create some help, but the only side did practically nothing. They group up together. Now the ball is forward. MVP. Now they've gone a little bit too deep themselves. QO will drop almost 1,000 gold for his death going the way of Chris. And Miracle is here for the kill on Dubu as well. Swirling death, Timber Chain, it looks almost too easy. Crit with the double kill from the kick. While all that's going on, remember, MVP is still a rack up. That's a good fight for OG.
A good way to start, and I like the zoning Chronosphere coming out from MP. They decided to chrono the 2 farm heroes and then just go for everyone in the back. I guess that's a way you can make a 5 melee lineup work with Chronosphere. Don't fight in it.
Problem is when the Chronosphere wears off and then the cores come back, you've got the kills on the supports, but you've got nothing else to throw.
They also need to make sure that they deal with the lasso. If they didn't have the Aegis that fight, they would have just had a turn tail and a run immediately after the lasso. The Lotus Orb is a start. I think like Lotus Orb and actually slow sieging might be okay, but then again, that's not really what MVP's style is.
No, it's not. It's all about run, and then run some more.
If they could trap 2 bounty hunters, they definitely would.
Only track and stack. As OG now, they're going to 4-man smoke up, running straight down mid lane.
Fortified.
And Dire, okay, they're scanning over towards Ancients. They're expecting MVP to farm this. Epi is just on the edge of it, but he's not triggering the scan.
Oh, MP.
Oh, he just jumped himself in! And the final kill in time. He took a time walk available, but MP knows. With movement on the dial, the charge is coming forward, but MVP, they really want to fight this. Chris, he bowls himself in a 4-0 against the defensive disruption. They can do MVP, can't find the kill, move on to the next one. It's Chris, the back lines, the back, into the wall again. Miracle is caught in the middle of the line, and it's going to be a bad catch. No, when Dubu split the cure! He finds the Chris, and then they move to Miracle. They need the back in control. Lotus Orb helping Miracle for the moment. They cycling. He jumps back in again. There's your first back. Where's your control? Dubu's going to bring in another charge forward. 3 down for OG. It might be 4, but Miracle is just still so damn tanky. And Dubu has to be careful around that. They can find the other claw. It's Moon. 5 flying himself over the Dubu. Fasting. Striking from the high ground. Killing him off. Miracle still trying to salvage this fight somehow. But it's basically 9k on 5 at the moment. He'll learn his all up. Pivot chain away. The chakram damage. Dubu with one. Chains up in 1 second time. Down the back. And Miracle can't get away. QO again. Finding the crit. Finding the kill. And OG lose everything.
You can see why they're one of the few teams that continuously pick Spear Breaker. He kind of acted like a faceless void there, just controlling everyone in the fight. Great charges and healing himself up. He was like critical HP, turned himself, and just went right back in.
Dream fights again coming the way of MVP. 14,000 is the net worth advantage. Even if the experience is going to be closer, the money bank is just being fueled with MVP. Track kill after track kill. They can look for a second rack. They won't be able to get it this time around unless they force a big fight. Chrono is still available. You don't have the Dark Steel wall, but it's only 8 seconds on cooldown. They start the damage up. Batrider will arrive.
They're really struggling against the BKB of MVP Phoenix right now. This is where like the Juggernaut needs to come in with all the physical damage. He's trying to build an MKB right now, and he's just seems like he's a little bit behind in terms of items. And I don't think he can buy MKB at this point. He needs a buyback.
If that's the situation you face, I need a buyback to try and survive.
Yeah, in the net worth chart, he's not looking so hot too. He's number 4, like well behind the PA at this point, who is doing the most of the work of the physical damage on MVP's leaving up. OG around the secret shop. They have wards. The top lane is getting pushed in. MVP have figured out. They know what's going on.
Yeah, and they think perfectly that MVP is going to try and come in from the left side. It could have been an attempt for Roshan, but Roshan's not available yet. And they put Febby on the front line. Now OG have picked up a new gem, but Febby already broke the smoke before he came in range of the gem, who is being carried on the Batrider. So Dubu, they just sent the tank forward, flooded him up, and a double stun for Red Cornet. The Chrono's been a flamebreaker, is pushing Dubu back out again, but the only time to find the kill. But where is your follower? QO and MP will follow him down. The Dubu plays charge on Perez. He's a juggler to chase him into the free line as well. But the Dark Steel wall makes it very, very difficult to fight. As they play Ringer Rosie, MP comes back in and no tell. Isolated around MVP. Miracle, the sole survivor, TP's home. They lost their tier 4 tower thanks to the Green Wave in, but let's see that initiation again.
I like how they sacrificed Dubu. All he had is like treads at this point. It's like, whatever, we'll throw a Lotus Orb on you. You go in there, you get some vision for us. And they always have their like unimportant heroes up front. And then they eliminate the two supports pretty quickly. They got a wall onto No-Tail near the end, and then QO is just wrecking these fights.
It didn't even seem like the perfect initiation, but Chronosphere at the same time as Dicey was trying to go for his back wall.
It's their whole strategy. It's good enough.
Yeah.
Bounty, we'll win a few fights with Bounty Hunter. It's good enough.
That just shows how fun MVP are ahead in
Their teamwork is really phenomenal, though, with line of extremely difficult games.
The kick, nice on QO, they need to keep in control. The BKB helped him break free. Will MP. There goes NC down again. They move over to Chris. Heavy's back. Is over on the side. Maybe Chris. Where's your damage? Where is your escape? MP still on the top from the BKB. Will move forward. Overlord's moving the backline around this game in the back. A three-man wall. The Dustin no target. Push through it too. Heal drop. Miracle. He does need to do some damage, but he can't finish QO. QO will jump up. He'll kill Fly all over again. MGT. The game is over. MVP in a 70-kill, 39-minute game. Take game number 1 in this best-of-3 quarterfinal.
MVP played like refined cavemen that game. I like their self-described philosophy on how to approach the game.
And these cavemen learned how to use fire. A terrific performance from MVP, sticking to their roots, playing with an aggressive Phantom Assassin. Didn't look like a right combo, right? That you get yourself a Faceless Void, combining up with a 4 melee lineup, but for me, like that swing just started happening. The Radiant jungle